This is an SM Media production.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the newest episode of the SM Media Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Scott McPike. It's a pleasure, as always, to be your host, and I'm delighted to welcome my new co-host on this show. It's a pleasure to welcome Scott Young.
Yeah, cheers for having us on. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. There's a lot to get into this
What
week.
to get into? You
Definitely.
obviously you do some stuff for the Rangers part of the channel, but we've got you to kind of come in. You're a wee wrestling fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I've kind of been on and off since like 2009. May 25 was my first show. Obviously, yeah, like Michael's take on stuff, but ever since then, it's kind of really been on and off. I've kind of got into it a lot over the past 3-4 years. Gotten a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot of wrestling to get into. To be fair, there's wrestling on every 2 minutes, but I will get into that. What we'll do is we're going to do a Survivor Series prediction show. We're going to have a wee competition every premium live event. We're going to do a wee prediction contest. We will introduce some wee kind of prizes later on and forfeits and things like that. We will do that later on. Just we're getting the first show on the road before we get into that. We'll have some guests coming on over the next few months as well. So there's a lot to get into. We'll start with AEW. Before we get to talking about kind of a lot of WWE stuff, we'll start with talking about AEW. They obviously had Full Gear at the weekend. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I thought the story throughout the show didn't click with me. Everything surrounded MJF, Jay White, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe. It just didn't make any real sense. Like the fact they took MJF out of the main event because he was injured, then said Adam Cole could wrestle in the main event even though he's injured, but didn't really address that. And it also Jay White going half an hour with a one-legged MJF and still couldn't beat him. I didn't think it made Jay White look very good. The rest of the show I thought was good. I think we'll get into the Hangman Swerve match, which definitely has split the internet. I thought anytime the elite wrestle each other, it's normally good. But Chris Jericho being in there kind of brought it down a level for me. I thought the women's triple threat, I thought arguably was one of the better matches in the card.
That was probably the match I liked the most. I was hoping for something like a Sky Blue turn or something like that, but didn't get it. But I thought the right person won that. To be fair,
Yeah, I think she won it a month too late, but
yeah,
I think if she'd won it at Wrestle Dream when her sort of popularity was at its peak, I think that would have been better. But I can't really argue her winning it now. I thought the ending to the women's title match was a bit crap with the frying pan in her ass, and you could see it. The ref, everyone could see it, but the ref couldn't.
it's funny though, isn't it? It's the character's good. Like it's bonkers, but it's funny, and you can tell that's all her.
Yeah, like the characters are good, but it's just I like the character, but the finish just didn't. It was just a bit crap. Get the whole character.
Do you know the one conclusion I would come from this event without obviously the signing was I thought everybody knows how much I love Will Ospreay. I came out that pay-per-view thinking who takes the title off MJF, and it's Samoa Joe.
I think it's Swerve. Swerve's
It
my
could
guy.
be Swerve, but I just think that why are they introducing Joe into that? Why is he relinquishing quite a premium title in his own right? Why are they bringing Joe into it? I think he's the man. I think he's
the ROH title stuff was a bit crap. I don't know why he relinquished it. It made the title look crap. It made Keith Lee look crap because he just beat him.
Yep.
And then he said, "No, I don't want this." And they've got a tournament for it, and whoever wins that tournament's not going to look great because you've just got a secondary prize that Samoa Joe didn't want.
Yeah,
yeah. I think I was never Swerve's biggest fan in WWE. I thought the hit roll stuff was kind of hit and miss, pun intended. Aye, but I wasn't his biggest. I thought he always put good matches on, but something never clicked. But it's clicking now in AEW. I think he's the guy to beat MJF. especially if MJF keeps being the biggest face in the company, which he is. I think he signed a 3-year deal back to about a year ago.
I'm
but
more
they're still-
convinced that he's signed a new deal. Yeah,
I think he signed a new deal when he came back.
yeah.
When he came back and faced Punk, All Out. Well, the infamous All Out show.
Well, WWE seem to be the impression that he's re-signed with AEW,
Aye,
and I think just
I
going by his
said
media
that at
scrum,
the time.
I think his media scrum as well suggests that that's not for show. That's
No, I
He's
said
been-
that at the time. As soon as he came back, I went, he's signed a new deal.
yeah, because it's not like, as much as a mark as Tony Khan is, he's not going to put himself in a position where, I mean, I think his contract's out in 60 days.
Yeah, January.
When's he going to take it off him? He's not going to take it off him in a Dynamite, although the ratings they've got at the moment, it wouldn't surprise me, but they've only one pay-per-view left. They've only got World's End.
Well, then
That's-
is it Hogmanay day before?
That's 2
Hogmanay?
days, but that's 2 days before his contract's up. So
Do they do the Punk Chicago 2011 thing where he jumps a barricade, blows a kiss?
you could turn that into a storyline, yeah, absolutely. But who
Yeah.
do you do that with? Is Swerve? Is it too early for Swerve to do that?
It's kind
Is
of
it-
difficult for a face to do that as well, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
turn him heel.
And you've still got the
Although-
devil thing as well. Who
But I think we'll get into that because
Who is it?
I've got
Who
an
do you
I've got
think
an
it is?
I, who do I think it is? I think it's Jack Perry.
That's who I think. it
Yeah.
is.
But
But I can
I
imagine
really-
the disappointment in the media, the fans will have if that's who it is.
who do I want it to be? I'm desperate for it to be. I'm desperate for it to be CM Punk.
I bet
It's not.
It'd be unbelievable. Wouldn't it,
What's
though?
his phrase? The greatest trick that Devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The best thing you can do is convince the world he gets sacked.
Do you know what would be brilliant if it was him, but he showed up at Survivor Series as well, and just like how good it would never happen. But just imagine would see that would wrestling move back in the mainstream, because that would be the most unbelievable swerve we've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, we'll get into obviously talking about the kind of main talking point for that event was obviously the death match between Swerve and Adam Page. It went 29 minutes. My favourite part of the match was actually the entrance of Prince Nana. And that tells you how I feel
He's
about
mental.
it.
I don't know.
Brilliantly mental though, isn't he? Like I just didn't like it. It's not my sort of wrestling. Like, I'll be honest, like I'm more a kind of on the mat. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of angles and match. I mean, I don't mind like a hardcore match if it's done right and there's good booking. But as you say, if this is just to have 30 minutes of blood and guts, then what's the point? But if they do move Swerve on from it and put him as a, I mean, it was a good finish when it was done by knockout. But if they're going to do it a long term in terms of pushing Swerve, then fine, I'm happy with it. But if it's just a one match angle like this, it's not for me.
I loved the build. I
Bill
thought
was good.
the promo in his house with the
Yeah,
Wayne was great.
100%. I like that.
I thought the week after it, they made an ass of it because they had Hangman wrestling for the trios titles and didn't mention it once.
Yeah.
But then they made up for that on the go home show with a promo battle
Mhm.
where Hangman brought up like his wife and kids leaving. I don't know if that's true. I'm assuming it is. And then he thought I could attack Prince Nana and Swerve couldn't get involved because they couldn't lay their hands to each other. So that was great. The match itself, I didn't hate it like you did. I thought there was some bits like Hangman stapling his kid's drawing on his face. I thought because of
There was some good parts in it. To be fair, it's not. I'm not going to completely shit on it completely, but it was 30 minutes, and I can understand that. I'm not an old fashioned. I'm not Jim Cornette, and I'm going to shit on everything that's modern. I'm not going to do that. But
he loved it. I heard.
yeah, that's what I was actually listening to before we done this, and it's kind of. I don't have that much animosity towards that type of wrestling because I know that is the kind of that is where we're at just now, and that's fair enough. But it's just I'm very much a believer of long term. That's why I think like right now, when we get into talking about kind of the men's war games at Survivor Series, there's a lot of long term things you can do with that, and there's a lot of background on that match. Like, it's going to be a brutal match, and we saw that last year. the storytelling last year in War Games was terrific, and the match was really good as well. That's what I want. I don't just want as I say, like a couple of weeks ago, MJF and Kenny Omega, great match, but it was just a one match for Collision just to draw ratings. There wasn't a long term. That's probably your two biggest faces. Why are they doing that in a normal Collision? That's a pay-per-view match. Now, Swerve and Hangman, perfectly good match for an event, but it's not my type of what I worry it is, and what I think it is. Just kind of reading kind of dirt sheets and things like that. What I worry that it is, and we've not seen Dynamite. Obviously, we're calling this on Wednesday night. What I worry it is though is just a 30-minute Texas death match that there's going to be no outcome of. It's not going to push Swerve, in my opinion. I hope your way would be the right way, but I'm not sure that's the way they're going to go.
Well, we'll get into it, but he's in this tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to win it, but looking at it, I think his group is between 2, maybe 3 people. I think the second group is wide open between maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But with his group, you've got Moxley, you get Swerve, and you get Jay White. I think it's the 3 main ones.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Swerve win it, just as a bit of a push on to the net, to push on up the card, because he's been one of my wrestlers of the year, definitely up there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He's been probably my AEW wrestler of the year, maybe MJF, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah, that's something we'll do later on. We'll do awards at the end of the year as well. That'll be something.
Aye.
But I mean, I think they're going to have Eddie Kingston go far in it because of he's going to. I think Bill reports he's going to put every match he's going to put the title on the line. Brody King, somebody I think can be used as well. I just don't know. I mean, it could be. I think Brody King looks actually out of place in it. I thought we'd maybe see Malachi instead of him.
I thought that. I still don't see why Jay Lethal's in it over Kenny Omega. I think that's baffling to me. Unless they've got other things planned for Kenny, but they've not had anything planned for Kenny for ages, and it's
the time of Jeff.
Kenny Omega.
Where's that going?
It's I'd say still the best wrestler in the world. Maybe obviously you get your Ospreys, and then you've got a different style. You've got your Codys and
How good would I know obviously Osprey can be in it. How good would Osprey have been in this?
Oh, yes. Just give me. Oh, I think you should do a gauntlet of just everyone.
Yeah.
Just week, just give him. Like, you're obviously doing something big at Wembley. Is that when you take the title off MJF?
You could. That could be something else.
At Wembley?
I don't know if they're going to do it that long, because you're going to have the Devil start. I don't think, like, where are they going to go with that? But they certainly, like the Osprey signing, we're kind of changing gears. But I think the Osprey signing's a major coup, because it's one of those, like, just when you felt AEW was kind of going down the tubes a wee bit, they bring Osprey. Osprey was after. I mean, he even spoke about how much he was thinking about TNA. Now, was that ever serious? I don't know. I think there might have been truth in it.
I think it was between two. Really, I don't think he was ever going to TNA.
I'm not sure he was big on WWE either. I don't think he would have trust in WWE at the moment.
When you look, I think I'd trust if it was Vince. I'd agree with you, but I trust Triple H more than I trust Vince.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that talking about Punk. We'll get into that talking about Punk, because there's a big kind of overall picture I want to paint with that, because I think what's going on, if we are getting Punk back, I think it all depends on one thing.
I just had a thought. Sorry, to go back to the Devil. We didn't see the Devil at Full Gear, because it's the first time we've seen Adam Cole on screen?
Yeah, but
because
it has been legitimately injured. So how can you pull that off?
But
I think so. I think he had surgery apparently.
But you never know with these things.
Yeah.
It's wrestling. You can you can tell Sean, tell Dave, tell Mike, whoever the reporters are, right, he's legitimately had a surgery.
Yeah.
And even that, we're not seeing the Devil do anything physical, have we?
No.
We've just seen him standing there with his
just the thing
pals doing it all.
Just the thing they claimed. But I know, I mean, I certainly, like, I did enjoy it overall. I'm a big fan of the likes of the Tony Storm. I thought the six tag with Edge, formerly known as Edge, Sting and Darby was fine. You could tell Darby got really hot, but
Yeah, there was
anything.
one point of that I was a bit confused at because but the whole overarching story was Adam Copeland and Christian weren't touching because they're saving that for the fight, when the
Mhm.
other match, probably at World's End, maybe a bit later on if we'll hold off that. But then you had Adam Copeland spear him on Collision, I think, one episode.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you're holding off them getting physical, but then you already done that. So I don't see the point in it. I think they're trying to retroactively tell a story that they've already made a massive. That makes sense.
At the risk of sounding disrespectful, Ric Flair, done.
Why is it
get
that?
him off TV. I don't
He's
care.
gonna wrestle, isn't he?
I don't care about the woo energy and all that rubbish, but he's done. Do you know what I mean? He's finished. He's running, and I love Ric Flair, and I mean, if I'm ever bored, I'll go back and watch old Ric Flair matches. That's how high regard I hold him in. But
Aye.
nah, not in 2023. Have him if you're going to have him turn up. Like do what they do with like a Hogan at WWE. Have him turn
Aye.
up once in a blue moon when you've got something to promote. It doesn't need to be on. And I get the Sting, and I'm quite looking forward. But I think it should be Sting Derby, his final match. I think they should.
Aye. Same.
It should be something like that. I don't think it should be like Christian Cage completely puts him out of commission. I think Darby's the new Sting kind of thing. Like give
Sting
him
Ric
the
Flair.
torch. Yeah. If it's Sting Ric Flair, that's my fear, by the way. And it wouldn't surprise me in the fight.
I don't think it would.
Nah,
I can't see it.
surely
I
not.
don't think would Sting want to do it.
No, I think
Tony's always been a big WCW guy. He always has been.
That's why Flair's
That was
there,
his
to be fair.
thing.
Like I was thinking, like when he said, "Oh, he's going to give Sting a present," and then there was chat, "Oh, Ric Flair's got a new energy drink." There was obviously wee rumours, but I didn't think they would actually do it.
No, I know what it was, but I didn't think it was that.
I just can't. I hope and pray that it's not, but I think Sting Derby would be the way to go. Right, let's get on to WWE. There's a lot of stuff going on. Before we get into talking about War Games and a potential surprise at War Games, John Cena looks to have had surgery done on his elbows. I think the way he was put down the Solo and storyline, I think we'll see him again. I don't think we'll see him anytime soon.
No, maybe I wouldn't bring him back at Mania.
Nah.
The only thing I would change about the Crown Jewel finish was give him a stretcher job.
I thought that as well. I thought
rather than him walking out, sort of half selling it, half no, sort of half coughing, half no, stretcher job him. I think that's the only thing I'd change is give him put him out in a stretcher.
What do you do with Solo? Like, do you know what I mean? Solo's he looked phenomenal, but now I mean he's not. I don't even think he's not in Survivor Series up until now. What do you know what I mean?
I don't think it will be. I was thinking about this. I wouldn't. I still think Cody's the guy to beat Roman.
Yeah,
definitely. There's not much else he can do. Do you have Solo beat Roman after Cody, or do you have Solo beat Cody when Cody wins it?
I don't know. Like, are we head towards Solo and LA Knight? But one of them's going to look bad. Do you know what I mean? I think keep them away from each other just now.
My issue with Solo is I don't think this is going to sound harsh, but I don't know how good of a wrestler he is.
Like, we haven't really seen it, have we?
Roman, the difference in Roman and Solo, Roman's matches, they're always quite slow paced for the first 40-50%. Then you get ref bumps and then it boosts into the final gear, which is incredible. But Solo doesn't have that kind of, I think aura is the best word I can use. He doesn't have that Roman does to carry a match.
Like, see when we're talking about Drew, like the whole thing, and I think it's been well booked, to be fair, Drew and Jay, and that's the kind of obviously the kind of reason Drew's in War Games. It's Solo that cost him the title at Clash of the Castle.
Aye.
Like, is that?
He always says it's your family, your bloodline. So he kind of knows it wasn't just Jay.
Yeah.
So he's been kind of
and it's been well done, to be fair.
Rewritten history. They haven't just rewritten history, which Vince probably would have done. Vince probably would have put it as it was Jay that attacked him when we all know it wasn't he.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew's has been saying it's your family, it's your bloodline. Your family cost me my my opportunity in front of my family and stuff like that. So I think they've tried their best with. I think putting Jay on Raw was a masterstroke.
100%.
With because the Jay Jimmy is the Mania match. That's been rumored since SummerSlam, and keeping Jay in SmackDown just wouldn't have worked.
No.
So having him quit SmackDown and then having Cody of all people put him on Raw, I think it was a borderline masterstroke by Triple H.
Yeah,
because I didn't think of it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
No, I thought for a while, like when they said, "Oh, Jay's going to Raw" and things like that, I thought there'll be a trade. I thought Cody going to SmackDown. That was the.
So did I.
But it's worked so far, and I think though, I think we're obviously we'll talk about men's war games. I think Jay's going to play a big part because you saw the wee look at the end, and we'll no spoil it too much because I want to get into it for the men's war games. But next thing was obviously Survivor Series. We did get the announcement that Randy's returning as part of the 5-on-5, but there is have you heard any rumours about somebody else potentially returning? It's been quite quiet. You've not really heard much of a Chicago native.
Colt Cabana, he's going.
Where are we at with this? Because anytime you think what it might be, you see something that's been completely shut down.
Head says no, heart says yes. Is when I'm at.
But
although I also want him to be the devil. I said that before. I think Punk being the devil would be better than him being in Survivor Series, because I think there's a lot more you can do if he's the devil than if he just turns up for a one night pop against Shinsuke Nakamura, which is the only thing that I can see returning at the moment.
I think though it would be the biggest pop we've seen. It would
since Punk.
Biggest pop since Punk. I think it'd be even bigger because we knew that was coming. We expected that. We kind of don't know at this point if he turns up, and we imagine he's turning up. When they said obviously about a fifth man, I watched Raw live on Monday night. I was never of the opinion they're going to announce CM Punk because they're not going to spoil that pop.
No.
But at the same time,
the only way it would have been Punk is if they kept it anonymous.
Yeah, and that was when they said it had to be tonight. I thought Punk's not coming back for that. Punk's not coming back.
I think they pulled it. I think it was another. I used the word masterstroke. I think it was pretty obvious. They had to announce it. If it was going to be Randy, they had to announce it.
Yeah,
because they kept that anonymous, and it's Randy Orton.
Yep.
He's getting.
It's Rey Mysterio. That's exactly what.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was.
They had to do it last year as well, because I don't even remember for the women's match. It was in Boston, and everyone thought, "Oh, it could be Sasha. Sasha."
That's right.
And they announced Becky. I think maybe a week or two before.
I think it was like the day before. Was it not the SmackDown before?
It might have been.
Yeah, I think it was.
Actually, yeah, that rings a bell. But yeah, they had to announce it because they thought, "Oh, people think it could be Sasha." Although I think I've got some thoughts on Sasha that we'll get to, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, regarding Punk, and I emphasise if because I don't know. I'm not. As you say, is it just are you just waiting? Is it just for that one night pop? Is it going to be a long-term thing? There's a lot more problems in the past with WWE with Punk than there was with AEW. And I don't care what Andy says about the Jack Perry thing. The WWE, it was way bigger because
it was long before Jack Perry. When Punk came back in Collision, we all knew this isn't going to last long.
I don't know. I think he brought back the first night he came back in AEW. He went on about what was it he said about the
counterfeit
bucks. I'm like, that's not going to last. But if it led to something, you were thinking fair enough. Like I was thinking that surely CM Punk FDR against the Elite. But nothing was really picked up. And then I thought maybe we might see Punk and Perry, and it might make something of Perry because I think Perry just looks a bit of a numbskull now. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Unless they build him up with this double thing. But if he's coming back, he's coming back. The Nakamura thing, I thought's been really well done. I think, I do believe what they're saying about Nakamura. The reason they're making Nakamura look good is because they're trying to quote Okada. That would make a lot of sense.
Is that who he's talking about?
But how long does that wait? Because I think Okada's contract is up in like the summer of next year.
I've not read anything about his contract. No, I didn't know. I didn't know if it was the end of the
Something
year
like
or
that.
whatever.
But who
But
is he talking about? Who is he talking? Like, if it's not Punk, who is it? It's going to be similar to the Orton thing. If he says it's Cody, then fair enough. But if it comes out at Survivor Series and it's not CM Punk, there's going to be bottles thrown at Nakamura.
If it's not CM Punk, Nakamura won't be on the show.
100%.
They haven't announced him for the show. So there's if it's Punk, Nakamura's on the show. If it's not Punk, you keep him off. Keep him away from Chicago.
Right, before we get into predictions, will we see CM Punk at Survivor Series? That's a big prediction. I'm going to say no, but hope I'm wrong.
I'm going to say no. The only way I think they could do it is the way they did the Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Where they just have it. They don't have him interfere in any matches. They don't have him part of the show almost. Have like whoever wins Survivor Series have him in the ring. It goes black, and then Cult of Personality plays. You don't even see Punk. You just hear Cult of Personality, and that's the end of the show.
What's the strangest wee tease we've had for CM Punk? Because there's been some ridiculous ones. Like I saw something today. Like Nakamura said something in a promo that he was setting him free, and the reason that he said that is because CM Punk's music says only you can set me free. Like things like that. And CM Punk, I think when I saw him putting War Pigs in his Instagram when he was the Survivor Series song, when he put that in his Instagram, I was thinking he's playing up to this, and he's not doing that if he's at Survivor Series. So I
you see small X's in the background of the posters. That's another thing folk have
seen the
thing up on it.
Thing.
And folk have zoomed into some light that apparently some light looks like CM Punk.
And because he hit the GTS as well, that was the other thing. He hit the GTS at Fastlane against Rollins, and I think a lot of people took that as he's only doing that.
I don't think Triple H was very happy with that.
No.
Because it was after that folk were saying you get reports, all the reports came out for like your Sean's and Dave's, etc. It's like WWE want folk to stop teasing. So now came out, it's a GTS a week later.
I don't. I'm just.
No, I don't ever see him.
I'm not think. I think it's very, very unlikely it turns up. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I think if the next we'll be back on and we'll be buzzing if he comes back, but very, very unlikely. Let's move on to talking about Survivor Series War Games. It's on Saturday night. We'll start with the women's War Game match. We have Damage Control consisting of Bayley, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka against Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch. What do you think? It's obviously there's a lot more to this now. It's very intriguing.
There's two ways you can go, and they both involve Bayley. You either have, because Bayley's kind of been the outcast almost from the new Damage Control, and I think you either have her take the pin and have damage control lose because of Bayley, or you have Bayley pinning probably Shotzi, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Bayley getting the pin and that's her way of saying, oh look, now what want to use. It's like they done it last year. She's the Sami Zayn of the bloodline. Sami Zayn won them the match last year, and that sort of brought him into the group more when everyone going into thought, oh no, this is the end of Sami. So I think the two War Games matches, two others to predict in the card, I think the other three are fairly straightforward.
I think this is hard. I think this is the hardest one. I think the men's one, I've got a wee theory into that, but I think with this one, it can go two ways. Like I don't get why Becky's in it. Like
that does make sense.
Like
I heard Liv Morgan's fit, or Liv Morgan's close to being fit. If I don't see Liv Morgan makes a lot more sense than Becky Lynch does.
Yeah. I don't see again. It's long term. It's a one. It was the same last year. I understood why she was in it. It was fine. It was obviously to get her back and things like that. Fair enough. But I just don't see it this year. Like this Charlotte and Becky players again. Is it going to lead to anything? They're different brands. I think Becky and Rhea's the the way to go for
Mania
Mania.
match, yeah.
So where are we going with this? Is it just to all the pals again? I think.
Unless they do unless they do something great on SmackDown,
Yeah.
I can see them having because they're both. Well, Becky's good promo. Charlotte's a bit robotic, but it can be a decent promo when she wants to be. Unless they do something like that, I don't know if they would. Yeah,
But
Becky in it
I
does make
think
it
it's
interesting, so
definitely leading to Bailey turning at some point. Now,
I think it's going to Bailey getting turned on.
yeah, no, she'll get turned on definitely. But
Aye.
when do you do it at War Games, or do you wait? Like, do you have them lose by, like, you could have? I mean, who takes the fall apart from Bailey? Like, Io Sky's the champion. Asuka's obviously brand new in the group. Kairi Sane's just coming back. Who do you have?
Yeah.
If it's not Bailey, who takes the fall?
I think it is Bailey, but
It must be
if
Bailey.
Damage Control losing, Bailey will take the pin.
100%. I don't see any other outcome unless they, as you say, Shotzi's in there just to take the fall. And it's like a. Do you know what? Do you know what would have worked here better? If Damage Control did a clean sweep, if it was like an old-fashioned elimination match and Damage Control did a clean sweep and then turned on Bailey at the end, that would have worked better than this.
I'm a big War Games fan, and
I
I
love
think
War Games,
with the amount of talent in the match, I think it can be great because
Yeah.
7 of them are good. Shotzi, but 7 of them are good. You can.
She loves Halloween, though.
Goth. Anyway, I think you've got 2 folk here taking the pin. Either Billy's taking the pin or Shotzi's taking the pin.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go with the baby faces winning.
I think the baby faces are winning.
Bailey take the pin. I think it's a tough one, but because Damage Control need to win. Did they lose last year?
Yeah.
But that was a strange one.
Because Rhea was in the team as well, wasn't she? Rhea was in the team. It was Rhea Ripley,
Bianca, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and was it Nikki Cross? No, Nikki Cross was Damage Control.
Nikki Cross with Damage Control, with Becky Lynch on our side, and
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what Damage Control did win that one, but I think. Oh, do you give Damage Control the win in this one because they lost last year?
No, I think I'm going with the baby faces.
I'll go with Damage Control then, just to flip it.
Right, let's flip it. Next, right, so we're going opposite on the Women's War Games. Next one, Carlito versus Santos Escobar. I think we'll be in agreement on here. I think Santos Escobar has to win this. I think I thought it was really good on Friday night. The heel turn and the promo. What he said about Rey Mysterio, I thought was brilliant. Like,
amputated.
I was waiting. I was waiting
Dominic
coming out and like having him on his shoulders or something like that, and it would have been
a new one. I never heard it before, so we'll play him.
Yeah, I liked it. I think as much as I love that Carlito's back. I love that he's getting a match like this. I think this is his first pay-per-view match since 2009. I seen
singles pay-per-view match. I think
I think that's phenomenal. Like, he was somebody I thought would never be back. I think Escobar has to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Wild and the other guy, I forget, Mendoza. Del Toro. I would be surprised if they turn.
Oh, I thought they would, but then SmackDown happened, and I don't think they will. I think you've got two Latinos in NXT.
Yeah, but I heard them mentioned as well. They could, they could.
Aye.
They could. I think, but we're agreement here. I think Escobar wins.
Aye.
Yeah.
I think the Mania match. I think the Mania match doesn't have Del Toro or the other guy in it. I think it's Ray, Dragon Lee, and Carlito.
Yeah.
Versus Santos Escobar and Angel Garza and Alberto Carrillo. Yeah. I think that's your Mania match.
Yeah.
Or you do Ray, Escobar, Mania, and the 6-man at like Elimination Chamber or something.
I think that's the way to go. I think Escobar wins here. Let's move on to the next one. Rhea Ripley defends her Women's World Championship against Zoe Stark. And will be unanimous here.
Ripley in it?
Yeah, it has to be.
Aye.
There's not been much. Like, there was hardly any build in this. There was a wee segment in Raw on Monday night where Zoe Stark was, but Rhea Ripley was very involved in the men's match. Which
I like Zoe's. I like the. I kind of disagree. I like the story. I like
I
the
like-
fact
the
that
story's
Rhea
fine.
is. I like the fact that Rhea's involved with war games, and Zoe's like, "No, you should be focused on me.
Yeah.
Forget them." I think it was kind of a repeat the week before. The week before they had an in-ring promo where Zoe kind of said the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then
No,
they had
that's fine.
one the Judgment Day later, Goth Hall type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
she wins.
I think
She
it was Rhea
wins though.
Ripley's win.
She wins.
I think there's a lot of routes she can go at Mania. I think Rhea Becky's an obvious one. Do you do Rhea Jade?
It'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd be.
Do you do? There's a lot of things you could. I think there's potential for 4, maybe 5 women's matches at Mania.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things you could do with Jade. You could do maybe Bianca Charlotte. Never had that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do does Sasha Banks come back and help Bailey after damage control turned on her? And maybe you do Sasha Io, Bailey Io. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot.
Julia's rumoured as well
Yeah,
from Japan to come in. I've not seen much of her work, but apparently she's great.
yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of avenues you can definitely go down, and it's quite exciting compared to the other company which we just spoke about.
I would be surprised if it's not like a 5-6 minute match here, and Rhea just looks amazing. But Zoe puts up a wee bit of a brave fight. But it's not that I don't like the way they're going with this kind of match, but it's fairly predictable. It's the same with Intercontinentals. We'll touch on in a minute. You know the result. So how do you make it appealing to somebody to watch, and not having them do like a 2-minute segment on Raw backstage? Is that selling it to me? Nah.
I mean, you've done that they've had to do it with I'd say 85% of Roman Reigns matches with past 3 years.
But you've had
predictable matches.
You've had Heyman there to really kind of soak it up and
Heyman,
tell you what's going to happen and where because like, I mean, they're doing it now. Like Roman's not involved here, and I think like two years ago that would have been sacrilegious for Roman not to be in an event like this. But the storylines are fine without him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably helping him. It's probably helping him, and there's reports that he's not really in full physical shape at the moment. Like there's a reason he's working less matches. So I think it's fine leaving Roman out. But we're agreement here, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, definitely.
Intercontinental Championship, Gunther defends against The Miz. The Miz obviously going to tie the record, and Gunther hoping to hold on to his long reign. Gunther wins, but I like the way this has been built, because on the one hand, you've obviously got Miz turning babyface, and he's not a babyface, but you can have him babyface against Gunther because it's a natural story. But you've also got this sneaky wee thing in the background of who's actually like Kaiser and Vinci. What's going on there with Imperium? Like for one minute, Gunther seems to love Vinci, then he's backing Kaiser. There's more layers to this, but Gunther's going to win.
Triple H loves to break up a factions, didn't he?
Yeah.
Is there a faction in WWE that's no got a bit of tension in it? I don't think there is.
No. Because you've obviously got stuff like Judgment Day, there's still the stuff with Balor Priest. There's still...
Until Friday, you're Brawling Brutes, and now you've got Butch or Pete Dunne, whoever his name is, walking out. Aye. Stop breaking up Imperium. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just keep them.
Did you see the thing they were thinking of adding Charlotte Flair to Imperium last year? That would have been weird.
What was this?
There was a thing come up. It was like, I don't know if Gunter was interviewed by Chris Van Vliet. I think it was.
Gunter's been doing the interview rounds. He must have asked which woman would you want to add, and
he said Charlotte Flair, and then like he went into detail about it. He said, look, we were trying to get Charlotte Flair. It was pitched, and I'm like, that's not like Charlotte Flair been in an Imperium just doesn't make sense.
No, Charlotte's not a faction type of person.
No. I'll
give you one prediction for this match. This is the Miz's best of match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think
this could be the match of the night. I thought like people say like this kind of under the radar could be one of the matches of the night.
Yeah, the triple threat 34 where Seth and Balor, which was great.
Mhm.
And then you had the match a month after with Seth, which
His match against Ziggler at No Mercy, to be fair, I still think that's
No
one of his
Mercy as
best.
well, yeah.
I think that's one of his
Aye.
best.
But I think this is Miz's first ever 5-star Dave match.
This is the perfect opponent. This is perfect. There's a story here written. Like Miz is, I mean, Gunther said the Miz symbolises what he hates about wrestling. Like, do you know what I mean? Miz is very much the opposite of Gunther. It writes itself. And
Did you hear Michael Cole on Raw?
no.
Michael Cole screamed, "Oh, Miz, do it for all us weirdos."
I did actually hear that, but you've got this
Michael
thing.
man.
It's hard with Michael Cole now because, like, obviously, like when he was proper heel Michael Cole, he loved him and then he ended up disliking him. Now he loves him again. I'm like, pick one.
Don't take me back to 2010, Michael Cole, please.
Did you see they wanted to have Michael Cole and B-Fab in a
Michael Cole and Top Dollar in a match?
Top Dollar? What did I say? B-Fab? That's
because it was after Top Dollar try to jump over the top rope and made an ass of it.
That would have been.
Michael Cole kept slaughtering him for like weeks.
Been,
and then obviously Top Dollar gets sacked.
You would have thought there's one way that Michael Cole could be worse off than the match with Jerry Lawler. Put him against him. Like, nah. But yeah, I think
Please don't remind me of 2010 Michael Cole. That was both the best and worst commentator I've had in my life. It was great because he got great heat. He was a heel. It was worst. It was 3 hours. It was fucking 3 hours of telly every week with him in my ear. I was only like 10, 11 at the time.
Remember the Coleman?
I hated him.
Remember this week?
Oh, is he box?
It was brilliant. Remember the one as well? Do you remember the one? Was it? I think the one in London, and it was like the Queen. The Queen was coming out to make him Sir Michael Cole, and it was obvious the Queen was a guy. And you're like, do you think we're stupid? Like,
oh god. Some days I just sit there. I'm so happy Vince retired.
Yeah.
Triple H is here. Triple H hasn't. He's been far from perfect. He's done some stupid stuff, but it's been a lot better. Like, do you remember Austin Theory cashed in the US title and lost?
Yeah.
And won the US title 2 weeks later.
I can sit through Raw now. I used to fast forward it. Like there was some stuff that was like I think what done it for me, and I realised Vince was done. Was do you remember that ridiculous Day of the Dead match? I think it was Priest and Miz, and they had the zombies ringside. I was like, and obviously like Batista was sponsoring that. I was thinking, you're done, Vince. Like, just pack it up.
I always give them some amount of. I don't want to say credit is not the right word, but I always give them a bit of leeway because it was a pandemic and they were kind of trying things out.
Yeah.
Like they had 2 cinematic matches that were great at Mania 36. You had the Firefly Funhouse, which I think is one of the best things they've ever done. And they've got the Boneyard, which is just a lot of fun. And then after that, cinematic matches get worse and worse and worse.
Remember the one? Do you remember the one with Strowman and Wyatt, the Swamp?
Alexa Bliss turned up for no reason.
Yeah.
No,
God.
it was the NXT ones. The NXT ones were some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I'll top that.
Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream had some scrap in a car park.
Yeah, I'll top that. Do you remember
Johnny
the one?
Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa had some shitty media project. Do you remember that one?
Aye, do you remember the AEW one? It was like tooth and nail. Remember that?
God.
Like,
AEW had one good one, and that was the one in the stadium.
Aye, that was good. Aye, that was good. That was.
Although there was one spot. This is going down a bit more serious, but it was the week. Shad Gaspar died.
Yeah,
because he drowned.
Yeah,
and then he had a spot in a hot tub where Matt Hardy drowned. I was like, mate, it was like 2 weeks later or something.
Yeah, and read the room. Read the room,
Tony.
Read the room. Yeah, but
I said it. You had all these cinematic matches. You had 3 good ones. You had the 2 at Mania, and you had
we should do a review of them. Like we should review it. We should do like a watch along of like the Firefly fun. That would be quite good actually. Let's do something like that. Yeah. Right, men's war games. 5-on-5. We announced it was 5-on-5. Drew obviously turned last week, and it's now going to be the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre versus Cody, Sammy, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and the returning Randy Orton. How does this finish?
This is tougher than a women's match because there's so many avenues you can go down. You could have Randy RKO Jey because Jay put him out injured.
That's how I think it's going to. That's how I think the show's going to end.
And then you've got the stuff with Drew. Could you have Priest cost his team the match because he said he's been the leader, but then he gets pinned, and it was like, you're no leader, you lost us a match. Do you have Drew cost his team the match because he's so focused on Jay?
Yeah.
Do you have something like Priest cashes in on Seth halfway through the match?
That would be cool.
Something like that. I think there's a lot of avenues you go down.
Yeah. That'd be
You
cool.
could have, I think, anyone in Judgment, they could take a pin here.
That's why I think JD's in it to take the pin.
Aye. Maybe Dom could take a pin.
Dom could take a pin as well. Finn could take a pin.
Yeah.
The only ones I think of
Priest could definitely take a pin.
Priest could as well.
Anyone in Judgment Day could take a pin.
Yeah.
Maybe not Drew.
I don't think Drew will. I don't think.
No.
I think. But is there anybody in the men's side that can take the pin? Maybe Sammy. You can't pin Seth. I don't think Jay. I don't. Unless
you don't pin Orton. You don't pin Randy. You don't pin Cody.
Cody's
don't
not
pin
getting
Seth.
pinned. Nah.
You don't pin Seth. Unless, as I said, Priest cashes in on Seth, which
Yeah.
I don't see happening. It could be cool, but I don't see it.
Nah. I think they're keeping that. I think they're keeping that for later on.
Maybe.
To cash in. It'd be cool.
Does Priest cash in during the Seth CM Punk match at Mania?
Yeah. That would be cool as well, to be fair. That would be amazing. Randy's coming back. We don't know. You'd imagine he's close to tip top if he's coming. Like if he's not tip top, he's not coming back.
You can smoke in mirrors a War Games match, but you could have him. He'll probably come in last.
Yeah.
He'll probably be the last one in for the babyface team, and then he can do his Randy Orton stuff. He could hit a draping DDT, probably 2 draping DDTs over the 2 rings or something fun like that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably RKO Rhea. I can see that happening.
That I'm waiting on something. I want to see something like that. Like I think like
I could see RKO and Rhea definitely.
Yeah, and I think that'd be fine. I'd be quite happy with that if they went down that route. Right, so we think. I think Cody pins JD. I think Cody. I think this is Cody's moment because he's not had a big win apart since Brock.
No, not really.
Like he's obviously a Dom at Money in the Bank. Was it Damien Priest to beat at Crown Jewel? Like he's a couple.
Yeah, he beat Brock at SummerSlam, and then it was after SummerSlam he won the titles with Jay.
Yeah, that as well. But he's not got that big singles win since SummerSlam where you think like they obviously teased him and Roman and SmackDown. See if it goes on to dethrone Roman. Anything I said about because I was gutted the way that he didn't win last year. I thought it was absolutely it was in Hollywood, it was the story, it was the right time to do it. But now if they kind of build him up and I don't think he wins a Rumble, I think Gunther wins a Rumble.
I think if Cody's beating Roman, Cody should win the Rumble because Gunther wins the Rumble and doesn't pick the 1100 day champion. Gunther looks stupid.
Yeah, I get.
Or however long it is, 1200.
Yeah.
In some days, whoever wins the Rumble has to pick Roman because if they don't, they look stupid. Unless you do some form of Heyman negotiation where Heyman said the winner of the Rumble can't pick Roman because it's Heyman. He's done that before.
Yeah.
They could do that, but I still think they should have the winner of the Rumble pick Roman. And I think they do Cody, Steve Austin it and win 2 years in a row.
Yeah. No, I would be happy either way, whatever they do.
I was never the biggest Roman Cody fan this time last year. I was very much Sammy or Jay to face Roman. But seeing even now, I think now Cody's the guy, but that's SmackDown visual with they two facing off.
Yeah, that was good.
I think Nick Aldis played such a big role in that.
Yeah,
because normally they'd have about 100 referees.
It was the way he said It was the way he said not tonight, not here. I was like, that works.
You see boxing, like 2 folk having the face off, it's just one guy stand in the middle. It was like that. Because normally you'd have 100 referees and officials and P.T. Williams and Jason John pushing each other aside. But now you said one Nick Aldis was sort of presence, sort of big guy as well, made it for me, I think.
And he has something that Adam Pearce has, and like, God love Adam Pearce, but he's not Nick Aldis.
He's got the word aura. He's got an aura about him.
Yeah.
I like Adam Pearce. He's good in his role. He's been good in his role for about 3 years. I've always liked him, but
It's a bit of fresh air with Nick Aldis, isn't it?
Nick Aldis just takes him up a level.
Yeah. So who you got? So you're thinking the babyfaces one?
I think so. I think I'm gonna go with. I think Randy. I think Randy pins him. I think Randy will,
yeah.
I think Randy pins JD, or Randy will pin Dom because Randy's Ray's pal. Randy will pin Dom in his first night back.
Yeah.
Or you could do something a lot more fun and have Priest pin, or you have or you have something like Drew pin Seth, and that sets up Seth Drew for the Rumble rematch.
Yeah, you could do something like that. I think we're
There's
gonna.
a lot of avenues you can go
There
down.
are.
Like,
yeah.
I think you could. I think Randy could RKO Jay at some point.
I think that I can see that happening at the celebration. I think that's because I thought it was a wee bit of genius when you saw when he announced, because he didn't say Randy Orton, but we all knew who he meant. And Jay's just like you can see Seth's buzzing, Sammy's buzzing, but there's Jay just looking there, just like, oh no.
I wouldn't have zoomed in on him. I would just have his face because he zoomed in on it, and I wouldn't have done that. I would have just had him in the background, just like someone described as the face of a man who's left his cooker on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. Aye. I think it'll be overall good. I think it'll be a good show overall.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
If Punk comes back, it's one of the best shows of the year.
Yeah. So we're in agreement in 4 of the matches. Only one we disagree on is the women's War Games, but it's going to be a fascinating show. We'll be back to do a review hopefully the next week or so. But enjoy Survivor Series, and Scott, it's been a pleasure to be on. Best of luck with your predictions and enjoy the show.
Yeah, Scott, cheers for having us. Yeah,
Right,
I'm glad to bought it, as I said.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers.